The average person is going to spend months and sadly sometimes even years before they get their first result if they don't give up by then, due to how much information and the quality of it that's out there. So, what I'm going to do as my service to humanity is to save you guys years of your life and lots of money, because I'm going to tell you the things that you need to know so that you can skip the part of the journey that you would have been on otherwise, that would have led you to things such as mental burnout, doubting yourself, giving up on the law, and your life just getting worse overall. So, even if you're advanced and you consider yourself to be extremely enlightened, I promise you something in this video is still going to be a useful reminder. So, whether you're brand new or you consider yourself high level, this video is for you. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. Okay, guys? So, with that being said, this video is about the law of assumption and how to use it. So, for those of you that already saw the title, you know what this is about. And it's something that was made popular by Neville Goddard. And although he didn't invent it, he did make it popular. He popularized it by bringing it to a lot of the faces that you recognize today, right? Think about it. All of us here have heard of Neville Goddard, right? But a lot of us haven't heard of some other authors, which I introduce you to in my channel. And like I said, although he wasn't the inventor of it and he brought a lot of eyes to it, he's a big reason as to why I'm here teaching the channel and why I've dedicated my life to helping others, right? So, with that being said, there's a reason why still to this day it hasn't been debunked. And people are still talking about Neville's work that he left for us and other authors, and how to use it to kind of get the health, the wealth, and the love that we want. And the things that seem tremendous to you now, trust me, when you understand the law and when you're done this video, you're going to realize that they can now be solved, and that those giants become small to you and you're going to become the giants to them. And you're going to understand what I mean by that, okay? So, the thing about all that is that it comes at a cost, and it comes at the cost of giving up to your old self. You're dying to your old self. And if you can do that, you can get things quicker than you think. And some of the most common problems that people face in the community are, it's a variety of things. And I'm just going to kind of start like listing them out for you guys. But this is where I don't want you to end up. So they end up trying to fight their thoughts, right? They try to maneuver misinformation, whether it's effort-based manifestation techniques they're learning through Reddit, things that they see, Discord servers, you name it. Trust me, I know a lot of you guys have already fallen into these traps, and that's what this video is for. There's also things such as thinking that techniques are the cause and using ChatGPT to learn and to kind of summarize the books, which, by the way, can be a whole video in itself. Like that alone. The thing about ChatGPT is it's not a bad thing and it's still evolving, but trust me, I've asked it personally to give me certain quotes that I knew what books they were in. And not only did it make up fake quotes, it gave me the wrong books and sentences that Neville himself never said. And that's the sad reality to a lot of the things you'll find with AI, and not to mention the AI videos where a lot of them you don't even realize because people don't study the books, but they're just making up fake quotes as well that just inspire people and they don't know any better, right? Which is not bad, I guess, if it inspires them, but it's better to learn from the sources first so then you can branch out and not be fooled. Another thing is they think that vividness, right? A lot of beginners think that vividness is a must, that you have to have it extremely vivid and to the point that it's like you can't even tell that you were in that imaginal act. And I'm telling you, trust me, although yes, that can work for you, it doesn't need to be that vivid. And I know this because I have never gotten that vivid. I never cared to, once I realized that it's all just, in other words, it's the state that matters, not the vividness. And yes, the vividness does help, but I didn't have my imagination trained to that point, and I didn't care to because I was already getting results just embodying states without making it super, live or realistic to me, right? And another thing, one of the last things that's very common is, for example, people think that third person versus first person for your imaginal acts. A lot of people think you have to do it in first person or else someone else is going to get it. I've even been guilty years ago, I'm talking like over 5 years ago, of teaching the same thing. And when I was, new to teaching in the past, I would do that. And I used to think it was that way too, but very early on in my journey, this is like way past 5 years now, it's like I learned as well, other things that eventually proved me to be incorrect and thinking, oh, it has to be that way. So when I reflect and I started seeing results, I realized a lot of, especially my first ever results, when I got my first SP and my first financial abundant, I guess, manifestation, you can call it, I, especially for the SP, I kept seeing a picture. It's as if a photographer took a picture of me, and it's like, you know, when you hire like you're gonna propose to your fiance or something, as a man, you know, you would hire a photographer for that, and you would want to capture that moment so you guys can remember it forever. And it's as if someone I did that, as if someone would took a snapshot of me, and the moment I received the text that her and I got back together, and that's was the thing that naturally popped up in my head, and I got my results days later. So I that taught me right away. I didn't have to sit there and focus and look at my phone in first person. I saw myself from, it's like I'm watching myself on a theater on a screen, but I knew what it meant. And like Neville says, it's the state that manifests, not the technique, not the visual or the perspective you're doing it from. Okay, guys. So stick with me. I know I've said a lot, but trust me, we're gonna wrap it up. And when we put it together, this is gonna be like a little Bible for you all to follow. Okay. So, with that being said, we're gonna dive into like how pretty much Neville and Seth's work, because you'll see me quote Seth, who was an entity channeled by Jane Roberts. That's just the most simplest way to say it, and it was giving us information from the other side, if you want to call it that. So, the thing about Neville Goddard and Seth is that they teach us that reality is our like, in other words, it's our creation. We came to earth as a training ground, and we did this so that we can challenge ourselves as souls. We chose to come here so that we can pretty much grow and evolve, and also add more experiences to source. So the books teach us honestly a lot of things. They teach us a lot of things on top of that we shape our reality. They teach us that it's based on our thoughts, emotions, expectations, and beliefs. All these things are what shape our 3D experience, right? And a lot of you guys just call it 3D. So that's what I mean when I say the 3D. So, with that being said, the books teach us everyone is you pushed out, which is a very basic but also advanced concept, which is that everyone in your world is reflecting you, and that means that every single person that you're going to interact with in the future, that is going to be in your life or currently is in your life, is always going to reflect your beliefs about yourself. I don't want you to take it a step further and now blame yourself for global issues and things like that. No, just understand that if you're manifesting an SP, or you're manifesting something with someone or anything, doesn't matter if it's promotion, whatever, you still require people to play their roles. And if you want them to play their roles, you cannot sit there and you cannot judge them and argue with them and view them as someone that hasn't given you what you want yet, because by doing so, you are now applying the law of assumption. And if our thoughts, emotions, expectations all change our beliefs, which then reflect, in other words, our beliefs are what get pushed out. And that is what everyone is you pushed out means. And that is why I know that if I want someone to love me and be my partner, I don't have to sit there and wonder, how am I going to do it? It doesn't make sense. They don't talk to me. They're angry at me. We haven't talked in a year. It doesn't matter. Your job is to understand that everyone is you pushed out. Not everyone but your SP or your boss or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. It's everyone is you pushed out. So the moment you recognize a problem and you understand they're only reflecting you, now you can understand your 3D, your physical experience is a reflection of your past emotional reactions, the things you expected, the things you kept returning to. So that's something that the books teach us, right? So that's step one. We understand now the very basic that, okay, the law of assumption is a law that says that our beliefs shape our reality. And there's little subtools that can then help change us our beliefs so that we can then change our reality, our future experience. So you guys follow with me? So let's go to the next step, right? And the next step is that the 3D is a reflection of our past emotional reactions, which I've touched on just now. And the reason I touch on that is because it's so vital for you guys to understand that when you are manifesting, let's say you start manifesting right now, you decide, I'm going to mental diet. I'm going to make the right choices consistently because this is going to lead me to change, which then that change gets reflected as a manifestation. That's really how it works. Okay. And this is why so many people, I trust me, I have so many clients that come to me from effort-based manifestation communities, right? Whether they find a website, whether they find another channel, it doesn't matter. Trust me, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails of people who have tried to effort their way to results and have ultimately met in failure. And a lot of them have sadly gotten to the point where, and this is a trigger warning, by the way, so feel free to just mute for the next 10 seconds, but they get to the point where they want to like hurt themselves, and that's something that is extremely it's a fine line that I have to walk to, because I have to, as a teacher of the law, I can't sit there and have disdain for teachings that I considered not to be healthy, because I still understand, number one, putting my awareness on it is going to reflect more of it, and my reactions are going to show me who I am, which then are going to obviously reflect more of it in the future. And on top of that, I understand that even if I don't agree with certain teachings, I still respect people that are bringing awareness to the law of assumption, because eventually they'll end up finding someone like me, or hopefully even better, they pick up an actual book, a Neville Goddard book, Jane Roberts, or any other great author. And when you do this, you're going to start realizing that it's not about effort, that your 3D is always showing you who you've been choosing to be. And this is why when people choose to do effort-based manifestation, in other words, they affirm all day while feeling like crap, what do you think gets manifested? Why do you think in the books one single sentence from Neville says, when your imagination is in conflict with their feeling, the feeling will always be the victor? And that's telling you, because why? Your emotion is followed by a belief. Sorry, your belief. Sorry, your emotion comes after a belief. In other words, so yeah, I got it right. And what I mean by that is your belief comes first and then the emotion follows. So if you are feeling negative, but you're telling yourself, they love me, I'm the best, I'm the baddest woman in the world, I'm the sexiest man alive, and all this stuff, but internally you feel terrible, you feel hideous, you feel unloved, you feel abandoned, you feel upset, what do you think is going to manifest? If you understand that what your reactions are is showing you what you believe, and your beliefs are, and the things you continually believe become your future, then logically, what do you think makes more sense? The thing you're emotionally reacting to, which means you already believe it and giving life to it, or telling yourself that you're the prettiest person ever, but you feel like crap? Do you think the prettiness and the effects of that is going to reflect, or do you think it's going to be more so what you believe to be true? So if you answered the second part, then you're correct, because that's why I don't teach robotic or any type of effort-based manifestation in this channel. I teach strictly from the books, and 100%, you don't have to do it the way I do it. I'm just saying this is what works for me, and it's less effort, faster results, and what I learned is there's a scientific way to get results. I just view anything that is effort-based, which would be robotic, anything, as an example. I view it like this. Does it make sense to kind of throw crap at the wall and hope something sticks, meaning you hope you get a result? Does that seem logical to you? Do you think you want to gamble with your life like that? Yes or no? And on top of that, do you want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars in gambling with that? Meaning you hire a coach now to teach you this stuff. That doesn't sound appealing, right? But instead, wouldn't it be more fun to not only not pay me any money, because I don't want your money. I'm not here to take your money. And for all means, please don't even believe me. I'd rather you test and prove that I'm wrong. So with that being said, if you understand now, wait a second, there's a scientific way to get results. There's a scientific, like if you actually study the books and you really extract from them what you can now start understanding, wait a second, like if I keep returning to a state, that state becomes my natural dwelling state, according to this crazy Neville guy. And once that becomes natural to me, or even before, it's going to reflect. The thing that I dwell and return to most is going to be my future experience. This is how you can guarantee that you get results, because you understand now who has a weapon to your head saying you have to now focus and feel terrible. Nobody, right? Therefore, you understand that now it's a choice that you have to make, where now you're in control. And if you know you're going to make the right choice every single time with correct understanding versus I'm the prettiest, I'm the best, he loves me, or she loves me, while feeling like crap, not understanding that your 3D is a reflection of your past reactions, your past beliefs that you return to the most, and not understanding that your next week and your next month is going to be what you're doing today. So when you now see it this way, it's less scary, and it doesn't make sense for you to just do effort-based stuff. And that's why I tell you guys, trust me, if you found this video and you're brand new to the law, trust me, you are saving yourself so much years and money. I promise you. And believe me, I've seen hundreds and thousands of people hurt and just wasted time. And that's what this video is for. I know it seems a little bit chaotic and I'm going all over the place. It's because I have so much things to cram in. I'm kind of guiding you the way I would want to guide myself if I discovered the law and I could talk to my younger self. Okay, so this is coming from the heart. So believe me when I'm saying this, I don't want your money. I just want you to prove me wrong. And by proving me wrong or trying to, you're going to prove the law to yourself. And you're going to realize it's not about effort. It's not about affirming all day. It's not about techniques all day. It's about returning to what we believe to be true, understanding that is a parallel reality or probable reality. And by identifying with the realities we can't see, it eventually gets reflected and given to us. That's proper prayer. Okay. So, anyways, let's continue. and but with that being said, but what I was saying is by changing your beliefs, we can select the experiences we want to manifest. And doesn't that sound fun? Doesn't that sound empowering where we can be like, wait a second, if I return to the thing I want the most and I embody having it, I don't give a crap if it makes no sense. I don't care how it's going to get here. I know I don't have it physically, but I can feel the results as if I do. And by doing that, in other words, I'm in the kingdom of heaven. I'm selecting the realities I prefer. And that's what manifestation is. You're making the unseen seen. So right now you cannot see your results, but if you return to feeling like you have your results, I promise you, as long as you don't contradict that and you keep feeding yourself with that result again and again, having the solution, the relief, the gratitude, whatever it is, and you keep being aware of it. And no matter what you see, you just tell yourself, nope, I don't give a crap. I have it inside, so it's going to get reflected to me within 30 days. And you just challenge yourself for 30 days to just see what happens. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, okay? So a lot of you guys are asking, how pretty much do we put it together for results? And I'm going to tie in a bunch of stuff for this. And I'm going to give you guys some guidance. So regarding the results and stuff, and I know a lot of you guys are going to, finish this video and are going to want to go binge other videos. I promise you, just rewatch this video if you need, or at the very least, pick one video or up to 3 videos a day and only live by what's in those videos if you're going to do that, if you have to do it, okay? So just remember that. And secondly, I just want to touch on Reddit a little bit before I kind of put everything together for you guys. So the thing about like Reddit and Discord and all these other communities is and look, this is where I have to be real as a teacher of someone that teaches the law of assumption. I know by what I'm about to say, if I dwell in it and I truly view it this way and I dwell in the negativity of it, I'm going to experience more of it. In other words, I'm going to manifest seeing more of it. So I'm well aware of this, and I want you to understand it's okay to understand things you don't like, but just don't dwell in them. But with that being said, Reddit, this is my perspective when I just take a look in and I observe. This is what I've seen all the time. It's a lot of people are just egotistical, and I'm sorry to say that, and I know that that's just a belief I have, and I know as a teacher I can change it if I had the desire to. I genuinely don't, because I just don't use Reddit, but I know I could change that, which then will change the results. So trust me, I'm well aware. But it's like a chunk of people are egotistical and just post stuff that like they saw from a random video. They reword it their own way to sound inspiring and confident. And then people that are afraid and don't know anything and that haven't even read one page of a book then praise that person, which then gives them the endorphins. They're like, oh my God, I want to keep doing this. And it's just a bunch of blind leading the blind, the best way to put it. And there are some genuine people who can actually answer questions and really do a good job, for sure. I don't doubt that. It's just majority of the time when you're new, you have no knowledge to draw from to say, hey, this person, that's actually not true. Oh, this is limiting actually. That they shouldn't be saying that. Oh, like that's actually not correct. And here's why. XYZ says this on this chapter and this page. This is why reading is the number one source. You should only stick to the books first, because when you read the books and you understand them, you can then branch out to the world and recognize who really doesn't read. And you're going to realize a lot of people that are teaching this do not read, okay? And with that being said, if you're going to use Reddit, in my opinion, only use it for success stories. I don't like using it for people to learn, and I will never, if I'm guiding someone under my wing, I will never, ever, sorry, I just got a message. Hope you guys didn't hear that, but I will never tell someone, yeah, use Reddit to learn and fill in the tidbits. No, because like I said, I've seen so much information from people who just are doing it for the wrong reasons. They just want praise. They just want attention. They want to feel important. I've seen people make Discord servers because they just want to feel special, and they all die out and they all just become toxic because the intention is not there to teach genuinely. That's why I say, like, if you're not genuine about teaching, you'll always fade away. So just remember what I said is just my beliefs that I have through my observations. I just don't care to change my beliefs on those communities, and that's okay. That's just, I leave them alone. They leave me alone. And that's what it is. But if I'm guiding a new person, I don't want them on Reddit. only for success stories. And I want you to just study what each person did to get their success stories. Just look at what they were reacting to, what they were feeling, what were they refusing to consent to. Take notes of those things. Everything else, in my opinion, is not that beneficial if you're new. If you're more advanced and you read the books, then you can branch off to Reddit and other places, because now you can see who's full of it and who isn't, okay? So with that being said, let's tie it together, right? So number one, how do I manifest? That's the thing everybody wants. How do I apply this now? You fill this in on everyone as you pushed out. You fill this in that the 3D is pretty much the past. Like, and that's true. Like, your physical reality is the past. It's your past reflections. It's not who you are now, and I'll prove it, right? So I'm gonna imagine that I have a $100 million paycheck in my hand, okay? Give me just like a couple seconds to genuinely fulfill myself. And I'm going to show you something. Okay. So in my hand just now, that little smile is 100 million right there in my hand, a check. But it's not there actually, right? And that's to show you, because I know you're going to see some people that are going to tell you, no, he's wrong. Manifestation is instant. And trust me, I get it. You're going to run into people that say that. My retort to that, when you do run into people like that, is, how come I genuinely felt that I had the $100 million check? I genuinely felt it. I'm not even kidding. I genuinely felt it to the point I smiled without meaning to. And with that being said, when I smiled without meaning to, that means I accept it, that's who I am. Sorry, I got something in my mouth. That's what she said. Sorry, my childish part comes out. And but why wasn't it there? Because if it was there, doesn't that mean I am that person? And if our 3D reflects who we are 24/7, should it not, for those 3-5 seconds, have shown the check? No, exactly. Like, I mean, yes, it should have, but it didn't, right? And why not? Because, like I said, there is a time delay. Seth and Jane Roberts go into this, and so does Neville, but more so Jane goes into the reasons why. It's there for our protection. The world is already hard enough. You have a time delay to save you from killing yourself for long, for lack of a better word. It's from hurting yourself. Think about it. If there was no time delay, every single person watching this would not be alive. You would all have been horribly, like, something would have happened to you. I know a lot of you have thought, what is it like to get a bullet hit me, or to get this happen to me, or to get hit by a car, or that, or kidnapped, or blah, blah, blah. It would have happened then and there. But thank goodness that we didn't create the world like that. So just understand moving forward that your physical world is a 3D delay of what you've been doing internally the days and weeks prior. The things that you return to the most and identify with the most here become your future, okay? So number one, how do we put it together? Only eat when you're hungry. So whenever your desire pops up and hits you, I only want you to fulfill yourself. In other words, do a technique, whether it's affirming. You could literally just say thank you if you want. Because remember, everything you see in your mind is a parallel reality. It's a probable reality. It's already created. You just can't see it because your beliefs are blocking it from your experience. So you got to start believing you already have it internally, not externally, internally. So that way you understand, hey, by feeling like I have it internally and identifying and being aware of having it, that's how I put in my order. That's how I know it's going to come in the coming weeks or days or whatever, however long it takes for it to be natural for you. And if you're doing this consistently, it's going to come a lot quicker because you've spent more time reinforcing that habit, okay? So whenever let's say I'm manifesting an SP, which is like 95% of you guys. I'm manifesting an SP and she now pops in my head. And I do feel like doing a technique. So right then and there, I understand, okay, what do I want from her? See, my brain doesn't do what you guys most likely have seen, where someone says you have to create a scene. And even Neville says this, but I learned that this doesn't have to be so. And this is much easier for me. But I know people will tell you, you have to create a scene. And you have to, it has to imply to you that you have your wish fulfilled. Sure, that's fine. And I've gotten results doing that. But I also learned it's the state that manifests. It doesn't matter the scene. Remember, the techniques have no cause. That's why for me, robotic affirming or any type of effort-based manifestation makes no sense to me. Think about it. Why would I just say words all day that I don't even believe to be true and just hoping that one day I'll get my results? Do you want to end up like the people in my emails that are like 12 months later with $4,000 down the drain that are telling me that they don't even want to be alive anymore because they just feel hopeless and they wasted so much money and they're now realizing that they didn't have to go down that route? Trust me, you don't want that, and I don't want that for you. That's why I'm telling you, don't even buy coaching from me. If this video inspires you to get coaching, just take a break, just pause it, sleep on it, okay? Because I don't want your money. I want you guys to understand this is a video to save you guys time. and to save you guys money as well. So with that being said, it's like, okay, so if I'm thinking of an SP and I understand that what I react to the most is going to be given to me. That's proper prayer, because praying is believing that you have something when you know you don't. So she pops in my head. What do I want from her? All of a sudden, I'm already aware. I want to hold her hand. I'm thinking of holding her hand. Okay. And I realize we're holding her hand at my favorite mall. Okay, great. Because with her, I would always go to the mall. We'll hold her hand. If I see her looking at something and I see that she wants to get it, but she doesn't want to ask me for it, maybe it's pricey, I right then and there, if that's where my brain goes, I play along. I let the scene play out by itself. I just react to it. I step into that moment. So if the thought of us holding hands is the thing that I crave the most, I understand, hey, my soul, the heart is telling me what it wants. All I got to do is fulfill it. Okay, great. So what I do is, it's like I compare. It's like I leave this reality temporarily, and internally I step into that image, that thought, right? Because that thought is a reality as well. So I think to myself, what if I was actually in there instead of this crappy reality where I don't have her? I compare the two realities, right? How does it feel to be here instead of here? And when I'm over there, it's like, oh my God, the relief. If I could like actually hold her hand and be at the mall with her, it's like it hits me. It's like this nice ooh, because I'm comparing. That reality feels so much better. Right then and there, I've stepped into the image without even trying. All I did was think to myself, how much better would it feel to be there right now instead of here? And just like that, boom. In a split second, wish fulfilled. I feel the relief. I feel the gratitude. And just like that, boom. In my head, we're already together. I feel it. Even though I know logically, physically, we're not together, same thing with the check. I feel it, but I know she's not here yet because it takes time for the 3D to catch up to what I'm doing. So moving forward, same concept. I understand. Okay, the next time that I feel like doing that, I just got to do it again in a fun and different way that's appealing to me. And I don't have to do any techniques until I feel like doing a technique. So if she pops up in my head and I don't feel like doing a technique that time, I just observe it. I let it bounce around. How would God observe these thoughts that all enter your brain? Think about it. Throughout the whole day, I want you to observe your thoughts from the perspective of how would God observe every single thought, good and bad? How would God react to these thoughts? And when you have that little perspective, right, it's kind of like your dirty little secret because you know, wait a minute, my awareness of being is God. Like I'm a God in a human body. I limited myself. So what I say goes in my personal reality, my personal bubble, my personal earth. So if I know that what I react to the most is going to be given to me as an experience to match that reaction, then logically, do I want to react to these dumb, bad thoughts? No. So logically, you're now viewing things as God because you realize, wait a minute, what I give awareness to and reactions to is me giving life. So if that doesn't make sense to you, then good. And that's how you should look at it. So moving forward, that's all I want from you is to just view your thoughts and observe them like clouds passing by. Only react to the ones that you want to manifest and observe the ones you don't with the understanding the 3D is a dead temporary world that's going to be changing because you're constantly changing, that everyone is you pushed out, meaning they can only reflect you, so you're in full control. The whole free will thing, don't worry about it. You're not imposing on anyone's free will. And on top of that, they can't say no to you because there's a version of them with their free will that says yes to you. So you can dissolve all these little fears. And remember, you only react to what you want to experience. You don't react to anything else. And that should be your goal for the next 30 days, okay? Just keep it simple. I'm purposely leaving out certain information to not overwhelm you, but just keep that mentality, okay? And remember, the things that you look at in imagination are probable realities, right? It's what you react to the most equals who you become, which equals your manifestation, right? And that right there is how you walk through your day with this understanding, okay? And right before bed, I want you to do the thing called state akin to sleep. And all that is everyone gets into sats or state akin to sleep. I just call it sats. Everyone gets into sats whether they want to or not. Eventually you pass out. And in between the bridge of passing out and being unconscious, you enter sats whether you want to or not. So what I will tell people is, yes, it's good if you can make it vivid and really relish in that moment and that experience and really enjoy it. It's great if you can do that. But you can also get results, as I have found out myself, is that remember, the state is what manifests. So if you're someone like me that just has trouble with super vividness and you don't have a desire to, in other words, I guess get better or man, I lost my words for that one. It's like you want to build on it. You know, if you don't want to build on your imaginative powers, which you can, by the way, and I do encourage you to do so. But if you don't want to, just remember, like, if you can just slip into the state in whatever way you want and then just enjoy that feeling. It doesn't have to be super vivid. You don't have to have the perfect visuals. It can be a blurry, crappy little thing but remember, it's what does it make you feel like? Do you feel loved in that moment? Do you feel wealthy or taken care of or safe or whatever it is that you want, right? But that should be the main focus, is enjoying the experience. In my opinion, yes, it does benefit you to make it more vivid for sats, but I want you to, your main concern should be experiencing being the person that has the thing that they want. So if you want love, then feel love. Feel that security of finally going to bed as the person that's loved, that finally doesn't have to fight anymore. And it's like, I can finally, like, I'm done this journey. We finally made it. Like, how would you feel, right? And then it's that simple. And you rinse, repeat until the next morning. You monitor your thoughts the rest of the day, and you just, you know, you just choose what you react to, and you only give power to what you want to experience. Okay, guys? So you keep it very simple, and I hope this video was very, like, informative for you. I'm going to make probably a part 2. And if you want a part 2, by the way, please comment down below if you want me to do like a continuation of this, where I kind of talk to you like you're brand new, where I kind of just give you the full breakdown and save you time. But there's also information where how to apply it. So if you like this kind of videos and you want me to add more, because this is like the basics, if I was going to guide someone for 30 days to help them get their results, this is just what I would do if I knew I didn't have time to kind of feed them more information, but I knew that it would work. So this right here is the perfect outline that you need. And if I do a part 2, if you guys ask for it enough in the comments, and by the way, if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments too down below, because I know that you're going to have questions based off things I said here. I'll do my best to answer them, and just make sure you look for the responses so you can learn in case someone asked a question already. But with that being said, it's like, I understand that there's more things I could talk about. I could talk more about the 3D and what it actually is, where we come from, and why we're unique and worthy. I skipped these things on purpose because I didn't need to know these things right away my first week learning the law. But if you just use this perspective and you keep it that simple, that what you react to the most becomes your future, that you get to observe things with a dirty little secret mentality, that you're the creator and the reflector of your own reality, and all these things, that's all I want you to do. And for 30 days, just live with that viewpoint, okay? And all I ask from you guys in return, remember, I don't want your money. All I ask is, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Hit the like button if you haven't already. So that way, the same way that this benefited and helped you guys and gave you some good reminders and maybe even inspired you, it'll inspire someone else. Maybe something in this video is the thing that will save someone's time and life for years and years and lots of money. So all I ask is to like and subscribe and comment down below any questions you have, and if you want me to do more videos like this. So other than that, you guys already know that I have my membership. I don't want you to join it. I'm not bringing this up for that, but I put a lot of the lives, not all of them, but a lot of the lives get put for free on my channel after the fact when they're recorded. So if you haven't noticed already, go to my profile, click the lives tab. The live tab, it should be somewhere beside video, and right there it has all the live videos from the membership that you can watch for free. No money needed, right? So just remember, if you ever are curious, I guarantee you in those videos, somebody always is asking a question that you need to hear the answer to, okay? So with that being said, I love you all very much, and feel free to go watch a video that I'm going to put up here or up there. I don't even know where. I'll figure it out, but these might help you. It's going to be some of the lives as well, and some other videos. So thank you so much. I love you all very much, and take care. Have a great day and night wherever you guys are.